Hello, my friends. It's Dr. Laura Mock here again. I now have 22 subscribers. It's been a week since I started my channel, and my most popular video, which is called Mom Dentisting It's Hard, is almost at 100 views. Woo! But honestly, you know what? I've had a really fun time making it, so it's fine. And if anyone's got any questions, please reach out to me. My email address is on the information, like the about section, and then also you can check my Facebook too if you want to reach out to me. I am here to help, and I sincerely would like to help. So if you have a question or a problem, honestly, I would be thrilled if you come to me and ask. I've been through all this stuff and I'm still going through it. As you know, this is my personal journey that I'm recording. And if you don't know that, if you haven't heard, go back to video 1 and start at the beginning. It really won't take that long. Every video is 10 minutes, maybe a little more, maybe a little less, but it's easy to work through. And you don't have to watch them. Like if you're doing your makeup or doing your dishes, just listen. It's only just me and my face the whole time so far. So you look once, you know what I look like. Just listen. It's fine. So this is video number 8, and this one is called Drawing Boundaries. And this is a hard one for us because, well, most of us, not all of us, but most of the people who are listening to me so far are ladies, not dudes. And ladies, tell me if I'm wrong, but we have been taught our entire lives to make everybody else feel nice. So when it comes to, hey, I'm going to draw a boundary, the immediate thing that we do is we freeze up and we get scared because what if we're going to say something that makes somebody else feel bad? So then we immediately want to apologize and give up on our boundary. But what I'm here to tell you is that if we draw our boundaries, it better facilitates our ability to give and serve. And I don't know about you, but I'm guessing that most of you want to give and serve. And that's natural. This is why we went into our service professions. A lot of you are dentists, so same. Maybe you're a practitioner of some other kind. Maybe you're a nurse. Maybe you're a business person that I'm friends with. We all want to serve, and that it's normal. So this is what we've got. So, okay, I'm just going to take my life. It's going to sound very familiar. I have my husband, my extended family, my kids, my patients, my employees. I'm at 5 right now. The community members who depend on me to serve them. So now I've got 6, and I call this my circle of need. And you know what? I wouldn't have it any other way. To be perfectly honest, I am thrilled that people depend on me because I get my rocks from knowing that I helped, if that makes sense. I am so happy when I know that I helped someone. So I've got the circle of need that I've developed. I've asked these people to depend on me. And then sometimes somebody might ask me for something that I don't really feel like I want to give. Or I want to give, but I don't want to give as far as they want to accept. And I just want to say, before I start talking about how to properly do this, for sure, this is not about making an ultimatum. So, for example, my husband's doing something that I really don't like, and I'm not going to say, I'm drawing a boundary here, and if you don't do X, Y, and Z, I'm going to have a temper tantrum, or I'm going to punish you. This is not a healthy way to draw a boundary. That would be me trying to manipulate the situation, and that's not healthy. So the proper drawing of boundaries allows someone to extend their service and their kindness while also showing people where the limits of that kindness is. So usually when I'm drawing a boundary, it has to do with me giving parts of me or my service to somebody else. And what I'm doing is I'm just saying, this is what I'll do, this is what I won't do. So, for example, my kid is finishing school for the day, and she texts me and she's like, "It's freezing outside. Can you pick me up?" Well, I don't want my kid to be cold. And I have made them walk in the cold many times, but maybe it's super windy and I already know they didn't bring a hat or gloves or whatever. I can say, "Yes, I can pick you up, but I can't do it until 4:30." Or, "Yes, I can pick you up, but I don't want to sit there and wait for you. So I'm going to come at this time, and if you're not there, I'm leaving." That is drawing a boundary. I have told you what I can do for you. I have told you what I won't do for you. And you don't have to do a bunch of explaining to make this a good boundary. Let's take my sister Marla. My sister Marla is one of the best people at making a good communication, a good conversation that I know. She is a professional nurse and a mother, and she just had a baby before her baby was born. So her baby was like 7 or 8 months cooking. And Marla, this is her second baby, so she kind of knows how things go. And she was thinking back to some of the mistakes that she made the first time around, where she was giving and giving and giving to other people instead of her baby. And what she did was she was like, "Okay, this baby is due in November. I'm going to draw some boundaries." So she called me up. She didn't say, "Laura, I'm drawing a boundary." She said, "Laura, hey, I've been thinking about Thanksgiving. Just so you know, we're going to pretend that's not happening because the baby's going to be a few weeks old and I want to just tend to the baby." And I was like, okay. But at the same time, I was like, this is her thing, that she's the mother of a tiny infant. And then she was like, "And for Christmas, we don't want to come over because I'm like 20 minutes away. Totally get it. Plus toddler, infant, no problem. And if you want to stop by and exchange gifts, that's fine, but we're not cooking anything." And I was like, "Marla, wait to draw your boundaries. You know what? We'll come over. Tell me the time. I'll bring the food." Because I don't have an infant at home. And besides that, I want to hold her infant. So it's fine. Her baby is so sweet. Oh my gosh. She's just the sweetest, cuddliest little thing. I would do a lot to jump through hoops to be able to hold her. So this was the proper way that my sister Marla drew a boundary. It was proactive. It was kind. It was clear. I didn't feel like I could push on those boundaries because she was so succinct about what she wanted. That is a good example. Now, I can tell you right now, it can be scary to draw a boundary because what we're afraid of is that we're going to make the people around us feel bad. And I have been raised to make the people around me feel good. I feel like as a woman, as a mom, as a practitioner, I am supposed to make people happy. So if I find out that I have an obligation that I'm expected to fulfill, that maybe I'm not going to go all the way that what they want, what I will do is I will write a script beforehand in my head, or maybe even on a piece of paper, and it will be the simplest script I can. So I might be thinking, "I don't want to get involved in this. I don't like the way you lead." What I'll say, instead of doing all those details, it's not a speech, is, "I can't commit to that, but I can commit to this." And what I've done is, instead of giving my reasons, I've given an alternative to what I can do, or I've just completely said, "No, that's not possible right now. Let me know next time if I can help." So I'm paring down the words. If you say a lot of words when you're drawing a boundary, it can be used against you. Trust me. Just keep it simple. My husband says that I keep my boundaries very simple, and I set out my expectations. He says that I have high expectations, and I do. And I say, "This is what I would like. This is when I would like it. How do you feel about that?" So I'm not saying, "I'm so sorry." I'm just saying, "This is what I need. Can you fulfill it?" Here is a very important principle that I want to emphasize before I run out of my YouTube time, because YouTube wants me to keep it at 15 minutes. Do not become a martyr. Avoid being a martyr at all costs. In my mind, being a martyr creates a Bermuda Triangle of unhappiness, and I will tell you what I mean. Somebody wants something from you, you don't really want to give it, but you want to make that person happy. So, you give up your own happiness for their happiness or the group's happiness. And you do the thing, and you kind of resent it, but you do it anyway because you want them happy. But then, because you're unhappy, what you would really like is for the people or the person who asked you to do that stuff to feel guilty or bad or in your debt. So then your actions around the martyrdom become, well, I did this for you or whatever. And what you really want is for them to be sorry or guilty. So you did it to make them happy, but what you end up asking for is for them to be unhappiness. So then that's how you get this Bermuda Triangle of unhappiness, and it never works out in your favor. It's so much better to preemptively recognize that you cannot give what they're asking and say what you can give. Gotta look at my notes. So, if you contrast that Bermuda Triangle with what would happen in that situation if you used some proactive language and some honesty to tell them what you actually can give, you can picture how you can serve. You can make other people's lives better without becoming a martyr and with doing it with your healthy boundaries. Now, one last piece of advice before I log off for the day. Make sure that if you put a boundary on your kids or your patients or your employees or your spouse, you follow through with your boundary commitment. I'll give you an example. It's a made up one, kind of. When I get in bed, I want everything to be very toasty. I will even use outside sources of heat to keep me nice and warm. And I always go to bed before my husband because, especially when I have patient care, oh my gosh, 7:30, 8:30 at the latest. I am exhausted. I'm in bed. I'm in my cocoon. It's warm. He comes in. It's 9:30. I might wake up a little bit. He's like, I'm going to snuggle with you. And I'm like, that's great. But make sure your hands are warm before you go over. So that is my boundary request. I just wanted his hands to be warm. It's nothing personal. I just want the hands to be warm. And so if he were to come over with his cold hands, I'm scooting away. If I were to go, okay, fine, with the cold hands, I haven't properly drawn a boundary. I tried to draw a boundary, but then I taught him that he can push what I asked for and just do what he wants. And so what that results in, if you're doing that a lot where you're drawing a boundary but then giving in later, everybody learns that they can just push you around and get what they need. And you do not want that. You have this circle of need. Everybody wants a piece of you. They are taking, okay? And you're here. You're there to serve. You want to serve. But you cannot have that thing where people learn that they can push you around. Okie dokie? So, this is my advice to you. If you're going to draw a boundary, make sure it's in a place where you can follow through with your commitment. It's especially important with your kids. Thank you so much. I'm about to get back into patient care. I'll be in patient care Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and then I'm going to go to extraction class after that Thursday, Friday, Saturday. So you might not hear from me again for a while. But I hope to get back in with you soon. I will miss you guys, even though I don't actually see you, but you have no idea how excited I am when I see that you're watching my videos. So keep watching them, keep subscribing, keep liking, keep sharing. I really appreciate it. This thing is going to grow and we're all going to help each other. Thank you so much. I'm signing out. Good night.